Hi, Genki Call here, and we are back in Nexus this week, the week of November 29th, 2021, and it's time to head into the Soulforge. So, this week we've got some interesting stuff, and I'm going to start with weapons. And basically, there's nothing in here except for Osha's Tome. Now, Osha's Tome looks like it's going to be a fantastic weapon. It does create an ice storm when you cast with it. It explodes lots of stuff and gets you lots of mana for your team, which is super, super, super. Um, However, diamonds are hard to come by, so if you've got the gems, I recommend that you go into the world event through your guild. What's it called? Dragon's Dreams. The Dragon's Dreams event, and get this for gems instead because it's going to be a much better option for you. Now, Trick and Treat is still here in the Soulforge, as are the tarot cards. The Devil card is the one that you need in order to craft it. That's at this time. We're a few hours after reset on Monday. I don't know if they're going to keep these in here. Maybe they're going to leave them for another day or two. I don't know. I can't read their minds. So if you need any of the tarot cards, you might want to do that before they disappear. They could be there the whole week, but I have no way of knowing that. As for legendaries, the web spinner is fantastic. He does triple skull damage to poisoned and webbed enemies, poisoned and or webbed, and he inflicts web when he does skull damage. So unless they are immune to webbing, he's going to do triple damage to them. You know, presuming that he's able to hit them like they're not barriered. But he's really great. I never use his spell because I use him for skull damage, as most of us do. Um, Whether or not you want to spend 800 diamonds on him, that's up to you. But he is a legendary, and if you're just having a terrible time getting him, he is excellent for skull spamming teams. Hydra actually is pretty interesting. If you cast a spell to heal Hydra and add life to them, he starts doing crazy damage. Even if he's not damaged, you've added a ton of life to him, and he's still doing crazy damage. So it turns out he's a lot more useful than he seems to be, because I thought you had to let him get down to almost dead before he'd be useful, but he actually, all you have to do is heal him and give him extra life points, and he becomes very useful. Viper, no, I don't use her often. She charms an enemy. She does some damage. She poisons. Um, so, she's a legendary. Whether I would buy it or craft it or not, personally, I would not. Um, King Bloodwood. King Bloodwood is actually mythic. Aha. I always get him mixed up with one of the other troops. Obregonia. Obregonia is one I actually haven't used. I have her or him. I have it. But it does do damage to all enemies and bleeds them. So if you manage to get 4 levels of bleed on the enemy somehow, then that's an extra 10 true damage per turn while they're effective. But they're, it's okay. It's okay. Of course, we've got those there. Let's go over some of these mythics. Oh my goodness. So Ketras the Bull is one I would like to have, but there's another one here I want more. Ketras the Bull does splash damage to an enemy boosted by his attack, life, and armor. And Allied Tauros, I've seen him on some teams. I've gotten beaten by him multiple times. I'd like to have him, but not enough to spend 4,000 diamonds on him. Made of Gaard, I'd like to have that one too. I'd really like to get my Sword's Edge. Cat. I would really like to get my Sword's Edge power level up, but not enough that I'm going to pass on the next mythic I'm going to show you. He gains armor. He's a tank. He gives he creates mana as well. Very nice. Reduce damage from skulls by 60% and from spells by 50%. So he's a really powerful knight, but I want the Grey King. Oh, I've been waiting for him to come. I am totally going to craft him right now in a second. So he destroys all gems of a chosen color, and destroy is excellent because you're gaining that mana as if it was matched. It's better than explode. So you're going to get all of that mana. All enemies of that color take true damage and are mana drained, silenced, and frozen. As you can imagine, this is incredibly powerful in Guild Wars, where, especially on a defense team, um, I don't even know what this is. Oh, oh, okay. So the third trait is kind of nice, but I want him. I have to have him, and I'm crafting him. Craft! I have the Great King! I have the power! You probably don't know what that's about. I have 2,000 something gems or diamonds left. That's, some. I'm so happy to have that at last. Ah, that's awesome. All right, so it looks like that's all we have in the Soulforge this week. However, I do want to mention that we are going to see. Hello. We're going to Sea of Sorrows on Tuesday for the faction assault, and that means that the weapon for the faction assault will be available, and that is the Writhing Staff. It does scatter damage, creates 8 skulls, and entangles the first enemy. Even if you're webbed and have a 0 magic, you're still going to create the skulls and entangle the first enemy. This is actually working quite well with Centurigon. You don't have, even if you're not using an Elementalist class, you're still going to get that entangle on the first enemy. It's a nice weapon. Let's see what the upgrades are. Attack, life, attack, magic, gain 2 attack, drain 3 mana from the first enemy, submerge myself, and steal 1 magic from the first enemy. So every time you cast, you're getting additional damage for your next cast. Also, there will be a weapon for Umbral Nexus this Friday. And Umbral Nexus, I don't know what the weapon is, but there should be one then. But the point about the Writhing Staff, because we're going to Sea of Sorrows tomorrow Tuesday only, the Writhing Staff will be in the Soulforge. However, it will also be in the event shop. So if you can get it for gems instead of diamonds, that is usually preferable. So be aware of that for both the Tuesday Faction Assault and Umbral Nexus Faction Assault. Keep an eye on the Soulforge and the shop depending on whether or not you want those weapons and how you want to get them. So that is it for this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.